Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive on a concept that I think is pretty awesome. We're going to be talking about those little everyday choices you make and how they can build a healthier you.
It's true. Those small steps really do pack a punch.
So we're looking at an excerpt today from The Power of Small Choices, how building healthy habits can lead to big changes. And I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on how these small steps can create a ripple effect.
Well, I think one of the most important things to remember is that building a healthy lifestyle isn't about making these huge overnight changes.
Right, it's got to be sustainable.
Exactly. It's the small, consistent actions that really make a difference in the long run. And what's cool
And
is,
magic almost.
I like that. It's almost like magic because these small, sustainable choices, they actually end up forming the foundation for lasting habits.
I love that. And you know what it makes me think of?
What's that?
Healthycoin and their little gecko mascot. Remember him? He makes his smoothie every day.
Oh, yeah. He's got the right idea. I think we should dive into the science behind that smoothie for a minute because, yes, please. I was reading about all the great nutrition packed into those smoothies.
That's what I'm talking about. Like a simple smoothie can deliver a serious dose of vitamin C to help boost your immune system,
Hmm.
which is, especially important these days.
Right, and don't forget the fiber from the leafy greens. That's going to keep everything running smoothly, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. And we can't leave out the antioxidants from those berries. Talk about cell protection.
It really is like a superhero drink.
It's like a one-stop shop for a health boost, and all in a delicious, easy-to-make package.
And the coolest thing is it's not even just about the immediate benefits.
You're hitting on something really key there. It's this idea of the habit stacking effect.
What's that?
It's like a total game changer for building healthy habits. You start with one small positive habit, like that morning smoothie.
And just snowballs from there.
Exactly. It can trigger a whole chain reaction of healthy choices throughout the day.
Like a domino effect for good habits. So it's not just about that smoothie itself, but all the healthy decisions that follow.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a really interesting psychological reason why this works. That first action, like our gecko friend, blending his smoothie, it becomes a cue that triggers those subsequent healthy choices.
So he's not just making a smoothie, he's setting off a whole cascade of positive decisions.
I love that. That's a great way to put it. And you know what it really is? A perfect example of habit stacking in action.
He's like the poster child for healthy habits.
He's leading by example,
Yeah,
showing us that even the tiniest actions can make a big difference. And speaking of motivation, we should talk about Healthycoin's reward system because that plays a big role in making these habits stick.
totally. Let's dive into that because I know you've been wanting to find ways to feel more motivated.
For sure. And I think this could be a game changer.
I'm a big believer in celebrating those small wins. It really does help keep you going.
That's exactly what Healthycoin is all about. It's like giving yourself a little reward for making healthy choices. It's positive reinforcement.
Yeah, it makes taking care of yourself a little more fun.
You know, this whole idea of small choices adding up to big changes, it makes me think about how it could apply to other areas of life too. Like, what about your finances?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it like that.
Think about it like this. Just like that daily smoothie can improve your health over time, those small financial choices you make consistently can really add up and impact your long-term financial goals.
So it's not just about getting that energy boost. It's about those healthy choices, freeing up resources for the things that really matter to us.
Exactly. So instead of trying to make these drastic financial changes all at once, you focus on those small, manageable steps.
Okay, so what kind of small financial choices are we talking about here?
Well, it could be as simple as, brewing your coffee at home a few times a week instead of buying that expensive latte every day.
That makes sense. A few dollars saved here and there can really make a difference.
Absolutely. And packing your lunch a few times a week instead of eating out, that's
Yeah.
another great one.
Okay, I'm starting to see the pattern here. These small changes don't seem like much on their own, but over time, they can free up a lot of money.
Exactly. And that extra money can then be used for things like paying off debt or investing. It's all about shifting your spending habits in a way that aligns with your goals.
So it's similar to building those healthy habits. We're not looking for overnight success. It's about finding those small, sustainable ways to make progress.
You got it. And just like we talked about how rewards and motivation are important for building healthy habits, the same applies to personal finance.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. So just like celebrating those little health wins, acknowledging your financial progress can help keep you on track.
Right. Like, did you hit a savings goal
Hmm?
or pay off a credit card? Those are all wins worth celebrating.
I love that. It's like giving yourself a high five for making those smart choices.
It's all about positive reinforcement because that sense of accomplishment can really motivate you to keep going. And before you know it, those small wins have snowballed into something much bigger.
Wow. So we've seen how this whole idea of small choices leading to big changes can apply to our health and our finances.
And here's the exciting part. This principle isn't limited to just those areas. It can be applied to any area of life where you want to see positive change.
That's so cool. So whether we're talking about relationships, learning new skills, or just getting more organized, it all starts with those small, consistent steps.
Exactly. It's like we're unlocking this secret code to make positive changes in our lives.
It's really amazing to think about how something that seems so overwhelming can actually be so much more manageable when we break it down into smaller steps.
It's all about taking that big goal and making it feel less intimidating. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, just remember the Healthy Coin Gecko.
He's like our little reminder that big changes start with small actions.
He's a tiny but mighty champion for a positive change. And it brings up a really interesting question. How can you apply this principle to other areas of your life? Were there any areas you've been thinking about?
I've actually been wanting to learn a new language for a while now.
Oh, wow. That's great. Which language are you thinking about?
I've always wanted to learn Italian.
Italian, that's a great choice. I can see you speaking Italian on a beautiful Tuscan hillside.
I know, right? It's such a beautiful language.
Yeah.
But it can feel a little overwhelming to think about starting.
I totally get it.
Mm,
But remember what we've been talking about. It's those small steps that make a big difference.
yeah.
So instead of trying to become fluent right away, what if you just started with learning a few new words each day?
That's a good idea. I could definitely manage that.
Exactly. Start small and be consistent. Like maybe just 5 new words a day.
5 words a day. Yeah, I can do that. And I bet it would add up pretty quickly.
Absolutely. It's just like those healthy habits and financial choices. Consistency is key. And as you start to see your vocabulary grow, that sense of accomplishment will keep you motivated to keep going.
I love that. It's like each new word I learn is a little victory.
Exactly. Those little victories keep you moving forward. And before you know it, you've made some serious progress towards your goal.
It's amazing how something that seems so daunting can actually become much more approachable when you break it down like that.
That's the beauty of small choices. They make those big goals feel less intimidating and more attainable. And this principle really applies to so many other areas of life.
You're so right. It's like we're unlocking this secret code to create positive change. Like, it doesn't matter if we're talking about getting in shape, improving relationships, advancing our careers, or steps.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And those small steps, they create a ripple effect.
Oh, I like that. Tell me more about that.
It's like those small choices you make in one area of your life, they can actually have a positive impact on other areas as well. Sometimes in ways we don't even expect.
It's like a chain reaction of positive change. I'm loving this.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to think about something. What's one small but meaningful step you can take today to get closer to something that matters to you?
That's such a powerful question. And what we've learned today is that we don't need to wait for the perfect moment or make these huge, drastic changes. It's about those small, consistent actions that really make all the difference.
You've got it. So go out there and keep making those small choices that add up to big changes. You've got this.
That's a wrap, everyone. Until next time, keep diving deep. And remember, even the smallest actions can create big results.